is our fourth session for the 3-month training program on psychosomatic disorders. So I heartily welcome you all. I welcome chief patrons of WCOP, Ramurthy Garu, Grishma Misra Garu, though they are not present here. And also welcome Professor Vedagiri Ganeshan sir, who is also chairperson for the 3-month training program, and Professor R.N. Singh Garu, and also D.G. Reddy Garu, president of WCOP, and Dr. Professor Ashok sir, who is the coordinator of the program, and J.V. Lakshman sir, who is the patron of the WCOP, and all the executive committee members and core committee members, and all the welcome to the beloved participants. So now I request D.G. Reddy sir to lead the program, to initiate the program.
Yeah, once again, good evening, everybody.
Good evening,
sir. See, already our repertoire, dynamic. Sir, vanakkam, sir. Good evening, sir. Ganesh, sir, good evening.
Vanakkam, good evening.
Yeah, repertoire Ramadevi has invited all, but I am inviting all. It all means it includes today's chief guest, Professor Padmanabhaya, Professor Ganeshan sir, and another patron of this program, our J.V. Lakshman Rao, and almost beloved participants, core committee members, executive committee members, everyone. And you know, today happened to be the fourth session, and the topics are daily we have restricted to only 2 topics as far as psychosomatic disorders are concerned. Today, the first one is a migraine headache, and during life, everybody might have experienced this migraine, and including nausea also. And we used to experience in our homes also, for people, they are reluctant, they are little bit uneasy towards dust allergy or food allergy or so many like that. See, for this, a little bit of discomfort will be there. Discomfort will be there. Some kind of changes origin from the mind itself. So for this appears to be simple, but once the migraine starts, it continues up to 15 days, or it may continue up to more than 15 days, or it may lead to 1 month also. But you know, as far as for that also, drug treatment is also there. But above all, drug treatment here for these psychosomatic disorders, counseling plays a major role. Counseling plays a major role. So, and similarly, nausea also. And you know, coming to the percentage of experienced or affected people in the population. So for this, 30% of the population are experiencing this migraine, and 50% also at times it leads to little bit complication as far as nausea is also concerned. So this is a very brief idea, because our தலைவர் is there, Ganeshan sir is there, he's an expert, world-renowned trainer. We are really fortunate to have him with us. So once again, I welcome Professor Padmanabhaya Garu. He was, though he was not my teacher, I used to treat him as my teacher. Such a nice teacher, wonderful teacher, and almost in India, almost all academic staff college and almost in the universities, he might have taken classes. Really, we are fortunate to have him with our midst. And fortunate thing is today, our erstwhile repertoire Anupama is with us. Welcome you, Anupama. So I once again welcome everybody. And now I am leaving the mic to Ramadevi.
Thank you, sir. So now I take the privilege to invite our guest of honor, Dr. S. Padmanabhaya Garu. He is a retired
chief guest, not guest of honor, chief guest.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Chief guest, Dr. S. Padmanabhaya Garu, retired professor of education, Sri Venkateswara University, Tirupati. Has been
problem. Ignore the problem. Then you will definitely be happy. If you keep the problem with you and think about the problem very, very seriously, day in, day out, that is ati. Ati means ati varjit, means over consciousness of any problem makes you to enter into these disorders. So the participants, probably I am not expert in psychology. I am only an academician, educationist. I know how to find solutions for these majority of the problems. As Govind Reddy referred, it's not the medical treatment that is required, it is the counseling is the best solution with which most of the psychological disorders can be solved. So that's why counselors are not there.
So may I now request Ganeshan sir to take over the session to discuss about the migraine and the nausea. And I request participants also be ready with your questions. Ganeshan sir.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Respected Professor P.V. Ramamurthy and Dr. Govinda Reddy, Professor Lakshmana Rao Garu, Dr. Krishnamurthy, and Rama Devi. Chinni Simon has come or maybe coming later. Okay. And my dear participants, given is nausea and migraine. First of all, I'll take nausea because it comes under allergy. And there are allergy specialists with MD in medicine. And what they do is they take a rubber stamp and put it on the forehead with so many, it is a table-like thing, and take something of a juice of tomato or dry fish or brinjal and so many things they inject and see where there is a reaction in the skin. And after that, they say you have to avoid either brinjal or fish or meat or like that. That is one type of therapy available along with medical experts. But sometimes it may not be stimulant or allergen may not be there. In the absence of allergen, they say it is idiopathic. Idiopathic means cause not known. Maybe the doctor says cause not known, but then what is the solution to the problem? The person is suffering. So the problem is in the mind or in the cognition, in the memory. They have experienced something which is continuing to hurt them. So nausea is a kind of overreaction, and they may not know for which they are reacting. That is the basic problem. That is why it is idiopathic. And the threat or the stimulant or the allergen is in the mind, something which has happened in the past. The mind becomes over hypervigilance. Hypervigilance means the brain says, take care because it is dangerous, it is risky, okay, it is difficult, it may irritate, like that. For example, one person says he is allergic to payasam, which is a sweet drink which is given in any party. It's a South Indian dish, okay. In North India, they call it as a kheer. So something has happened in him in the past. And after that, wherever this kheer or payasam is served, you will say, no, I don't want. But other people think, hey, why you don't want? Because everybody is taking payasam. And the person doesn't know when it was caused and he has become allergic to that. And nausea will come, okay. If at all he takes or even smells poison, he will start vomiting. So nausea is a prior condition to vomiting. Now, how to make this person to come out? Because you would love to take poison, but he cannot take. His brain and the nervous system, everything starts reacting to poison, which is a threatening stimulus, technically speaking. Another person will become allergic to water. Without water, how a person can survive? So even when he takes food, if he takes water, he will vomit. He is not allergic to food, but he is allergic to water, which cannot be identified by medical experts. So that is another problem. Now it is all in the mind. It is not in the, it is in the memory, and the memory is always alert to avoid such allergens. So I will describe one or two cases here, how it can be solved by a method known as systematic hierarchical desensitization. So it is nothing. Leaving the jargon in common terms, it is gradually introducing the threatening thing to the person. Poison means you have to gradually introduce. If it is gradually introduced, no problem. If it is suddenly introduced, then there is a shock for the brain and the nausea comes. How to introduce systematic hierarchical sensitization means slowly introduce. First of all, write in a paper, poison in the mother tongue. Okay, if it is Tamil or Telugu or whatever, you write the word. Keep it before the person. Even then, the brain and the body will start reacting. They may feel like vomiting, even by looking at, visually looking at that word only, they will feel like that. This can be applied to so many other problems also, like fear of dogs, fear of cockroaches, etc. Only the word. So word itself will go to the brain and then it will stimulate the brain to react with an allergic reaction. Okay. So after that, see, ask them to say poison. They are saying the word poison or cure. Then also the brain becomes alert. So these are method 2. Method 3, keep the poison. Ask them to look at the poison. First it was word. Second it was sound. Third, look at the real poison at a distance. And slowly bring it closer and ask them to look at the poison. They need not drink. You just look. It's only visually fed into the brain. Okay. And then what you do is just touch the poison. You need not drink. So the tactual sensation takes the stimulus of the poison to the brain. He's not drinking, so it will accept. Okay. Then ask the person to smell at a distance. So we are feeding the information to the brain that it is harmless by seeing the word, by seeing the poison, by touching the poison, by smelling the poison, and then apply some poison on the palm. So the sensation also goes to the brain. So it's a gradual way. And take one needle, put it in the poison, and ask him to put it in his tongue and spit it out. He need not drink. Spit it out. But it is going to the taste. So if you do like this systematically, ultimately you'll be able to put it in the one, not even one drop, the needle to be dipped in the poison and put on the tip of the tongue. You'll find it's okay. The brain accepts because it is a fault of the brain which is overcautious and it is hypervigilant and things become all right. So any food material to which somebody has become allergic can be treated by this method because nausea will come followed by vomit. Now, but I would suggest don't treat people who have become allergic to non-vegetarian food. It is a good thing if they are allergic to fish or meat or chicken. Tell them it is okay. Drop it. Okay. Let them not try that. Okay. Or at least I would not train them to accept chicken, fish, etc. Because it is an environmentally unfriendly food, non-vegetarian food. Okay. Accepted by environmentalists. So that is where it is. And I will describe another case. This is one type of case. Another type of case, a young man doing MPhil mathematics was not able to take food and he was vomiting. So people thought he is vomiting food means slowly he will starve and he will die. So over 1 month, he was having this problem. went to medical experts, and they have put a rubber stamp on the forearm, and they have injected all the allergens which they have in each box. And they couldn't find any solution because it is in the mind. It is not in the, it's a thought, it's an experience which has been recorded in the brain. So you have to investigate like an inspector of crime. So I asked him, how long this is there? For a month. And he would become angry when he sees the people in the mess, university mess, taking food. He will become angry. These fellows are eating, but I'm not able to eat. Even if I take a bit of rice, I vomit. A bit of idli or dosa, he vomits. So he used to take it to the room and take. Even then he will vomit. So he was virtually suffering. And he was considering suicide because if he goes on like this, he will lose all the strength and ultimately he will die. So he thought it was a torture. And then he was considering suicide. At that time, he was brought to me by one of our research scholars. And I asked him, I questioned, this is where I say, you have to find out what is the allergen or the stimulant. It is only a thought, but it is remaining over a long period. So I asked him, what happened to you? Because this started for the last 2 months or something. I said, what happened to you? Anything shocking happened to you? He said, nothing. No, recollect and tell me. Something of a shock would have occurred to you. Then he said, he went to his native village and went to take bath in the village well. And he undressed and he was about to jump into the well. But when he looked down, there was a dead body floating. He was shocked. He fell down unconscious, came up and told others. They went and cleared the body. Now, this was the incidents. And after that, only the whole thing started. Because the decayed human body in the water has become dirty. He cannot jump and swim. He cannot drink that water. But then it has been overgeneralized. What we call as the overgeneralization. So his brain said, water means dirty. So when he went to take food at home or in the hostel, he takes idli, but when he takes water, the brain says, hey, this is contaminated. It's not a conscious experience. But the brain says vomit it because it is dirty. But that water was dirty. But this water is clean. But the brain has done overgeneralization. And it has become hyper vigilant. So he started vomiting. Whatever he takes, he will vomit. So he was almost starving. Went to the MD and all that. Okay. Now, how to make this person to become all right? How to save the life of this person? Because here we will see psychology can save lives. That's what I wish to say. Psychology can save lives. Otherwise, this fellow would have been dead. There is no medical solution for that. So I took him to my house and I brought some halwa, which is sweet. Then I took a micro level with a spoon and kept it in the plate. And I said, take it with another spoon and put it in your mouth and take. He said, sir, I will vomit and spoil the dining table. Don't worry, you just take it. He took it, it went inside, no problem, no vomiting, no nausea. Again, a small bit. He swallowed, no problem. So I went on feeding him. And he was surprised, sir, I'm not vomiting. So what is the magic? The magic is there is no water given to him. Because the water is only the allergen which creates vomiting. Okay, that is the thing. It's a stimulant or that is creating the arousal to vomit. So bit by bit, I took a lot of time, bit by bit, and he was taking. And saliva is there, that is enough. No water is required. I told, don't take water now. Okay. Then he went away. Then I told him, when you go to the mess to take some vegetable biryani or whatever, take one rice, take it. Take another rice, you take it. Rice by rice by rice, you take. Okay. It is just like A bus or vehicle is traveling over a overbridge. Slowly it starts and goes up and then comes down. So this is a very slow introduction to the threatening stimulus. Okay, that is food. But food is not the culprit. It is the water which he takes after food. So water was avoided. You can take water separately after half an hour of taking food. Then also you take the water spoon by spoon. No problem. But he wants to gulp it, then vomit comes. So spoon by spoon you take. And slow and steady, and we can have it. Okay. You could take food, one rice, then two rice, then three rice, then four rice, like that. Okay. If you take one spoonful of rice, then you will vomit. Or if you take half a glass of water, you will vomit. So whatever is a stimulant for the nausea, we have to identify and introduce it in a very slow manner. With that, we can solve the problem. But at the same time, people say, I am allergic to fish or meat or chicken. I will tell them it's good for you. You become a Saiva food you take. That's what I tell. This is in brief about management of nausea and vomiting, like that. So introduction of the threatening stimulus in a very gradual, mild level to medium level to strong level. And it takes time. We should not be in a hurry. Okay. And it is we are training the brain. We are educating the brain to accept the threatening stimulus, and it will not overreact. So that is in brief. Any question or observation, clarification, I'll be happy to provide.
Sir, actually, sorry, Sir, actually, I lost the first method, the initial explanation, sir, because
Yes.
participants are not muting themselves, so it got, I didn't get the first context. I just happened to look at the real payasam, touch and smell and apply. So before that, there is something that you have mentioned. So I just lost it.
Yeah, you are a latecomer or what?
No, like I have been at the starting. So I think Shivani or someone like, they're making so many noises in the kitchen utensils and all that. So because of that, the voice is not so clear, sir.
Okay. Is it clear to you now?
And now it's fine. Now it's fine.
Okay. What
So
do
I
you
just
want me
lost.
to say? What do you want me to say now?
Sir, to explain the first case, the payasam one which you have explained, just the starting two lines,
Okay.
something in method, start of the method.
Payasam is an allergen for that person. Okay. So what you do is write the word payasam and ask the person to look at it and then read payasam. Okay. Looking is one thing, reading is another thing. Okay. Then just look at the real payasam. Okay. Then after that, you put a finger in that. Okay. Your body is in touch with payasam, but you are not drinking. Okay. Then the sensation goes to the brain through the nerves. Okay. So you are gradually introducing the threatening stimulus or the allergen by various senses. Okay. When you say payasam verbally or when you hear payasam, there is another input. When you see payasam, when you touch payasam, and then after all this, put a needle into the payasam. That is not even a drop of payasam. Put it in the tongue and spit it. I don't want the person to eat, but spit it. That's not a problem. So it's a gradual raise of the bridge to go to the top. Okay. So in Visakhapatnam, we have got a Kailasagiri. You don't directly go there like a helicopter. Step by step you are going. Or when you go to Tirupati, Tirumala, you go step by step. And then you cross Kali Gopuram and step by step, ultimately you go to Tirumala. It's a step by step approach in common sense. And in the jargon here in psychology or behavior technology is systematic hierarchical desensitization. I am describing it with an example of the case. The same formula you can use to treat number of allergens. Okay, so that is it.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, welcome.
I'm terribly allergic to dust. This is there for the last 30, 40 years.
Okay.
If I open a newspaper, I start sneezing. And it's a physical or mental or I don't know, but I live with it.
It is always both. Mind, it is like a wire or a steel. One end is body, another end is mind. But it is in the same method. You take a metal bar, one is the mind, one is the body. But it is all in the same bar. There is no body without mind. So mind is everywhere. Mind is only playing the trick. Okay? So you have to keep the brain. That's what I say. How to keep the brain at a plan. That is the word which I use. So it is like a pickpocketer. Pickpocketer slowly cheats. Okay? I'm giving you the example because it's a funny example. So without the person knowing that they are being manipulated, it can be done. Okay? But the best allergy, my real description will be, you find a yoga master, somebody there, okay, in some department, yoga is there. For example, Andhra University has got a center for yoga and consciousness. Even otherwise, there will be yoga masters in any place. Ask them to give you jalaneti. Jalaneti, they call it in Sanskrit. So jal means water, neti means cleansing. They have got a plastic bottle, a pot-like thing. I mean, it's just like feeding the children with milk. That type of model is there. It is also there in metal, also in plastic. It is there in khadi craft. It is available if you ask. Jalneti pot, it is available. So pour some water, lukewarm water. If it is winter, if it is summer, you can put just water with little bit of salt, a pinch of salt, and bend forward and put the nose into one nose and raise it. It will go through this nostril and come out of the other nostril because there is a cavity here. It will flow like that. And then after a little time, turn to the other side and pour. It will come out of it. But during that, you should not breathe. You simply keep your mouth open and keep quiet. Breathing in and out will take place through the mouth. That's not a problem. So, but if you try to stop the breathing, then you will get a struggle. So don't do anything conscious effort to breathe in or out. Keep the mouth open. So the jaw should be fully open. Pour the water. The breathing will be taken care of by the mouth. And the water will go through the nostril and come out of the other nostril. This side once and this side once, like that 3 times with the left and 3 times with the right. Things will be all right. Followed by that, what you have to do? You have to do Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati means keep one palm on your stomach at the navel point. And then breathe out noisily with eyes closed. And the breathing out will create noise, like what I'm going to do now. It is something like this. 10 times, okay? When you do like that, the stomach will automatically go inside, okay? And 10 times, little rest, 10 times, followed by breathing out, okay? It is known as Vastrika in Sanskrit. So you blow out, like when you catch cold, you will sneeze. No, you will not sneeze. You will throw the phlegm out of your nose. It is something like this, the reverse of what you have done in Kapalabhati. It is known as, you can feel the air coming out. Okay. Then when you do like that, the stomach will bulge out. Okay. So the stomach movement you can feel by keeping the palm on the stomach. And this is good thing for students and executives. For any anxiety case, if you do like this, breathing will become better, more oxygen intake will be there. Apart from cleaning the nose, dust allergy will go away. It can be given to smokers also, because smokers will have.
Much, sir. I think this should work, because even if I enter somebody's room, if there is some sort of different atmosphere, I start sneezing. So I hope I will get over it by your advice. I will practice it definitely.
Yeah, it will become all right. Just overnight it will become all right. Within one day you will find the difference. Okay. It is not the dust. It is the feeling in the brain about the dust. That's it. It's not the real dust.
Without consciousness, I do that.
Yeah. No, it has become a habit. It's what we call as a faulty learning. The faulty learning has to be unlearned, and it should be relearned like this. With this, it will be all right. And then followed by this Kapalabhati, Jalneti, Kapalabhati, and Bastrika. What you do is sit in an open air, okay, and keep your palm on the knees. You can sit in the chair or sit in Ardha Padmasana or Padmasana. Slowly breathe out and slowly breathe in the open area. It can be a garden or it can be a terrace. Slowly breathe out and slowly breathe in. By that, you are having your respiratory system coming under control. That's all. Then things will be okay. Asthma can be treated with this. Any dust allergy can be treated. Please try that and come back and tell us.
I do this exercise, this breathing, but I stopped it during the corona, and then I have not resumed. Maybe because of that, it is getting intensified, my problem. I will begin it from tomorrow itself. See, again. See this breathing exercise I do, but I stopped it. And also walking. These two I have not been doing it. So very frequently I suffer this, what you call, is it allergy or nausea?
Yeah. This will be all right. If you do this thing, it will be all right.
And that is the only health problem I suffer. There is no other health condition.
And you can also do one thing. Start running in the same place. You will have heavy breathing. If you start running in the same place, okay, unless you have any knee problem, you can sit, you can start running in the same place. In Hindi, they call it as Daud ki kadam tal, or marking time in English. Then your breathing will become heavy. You will say, like that. So it's an exercise for the lung to get enlarged, okay, and to shrink. Because the lung is not coming under control. That's a problem. Things will be all right.
Even the scent or some other things also cause me this sort of a problem. So I think I should avoid the scents. Say especially somebody smokes or somebody uses scent.
Yeah, that means smokers are stinking. It's not your problem. They are stinking. Keep away from smokers. Or people who drink. Don't go there. Keep away.
Sometimes they annoy me so much.
Yeah. Perhaps you can wear a mask, like the corona mask. Okay, and avoid. You have to tell people, you have to educate people as a journalist. Don't smoke, don't drink, like that.
Of course, these two things I don't do, but I could not make others follow me.
You can always educate your friends, colleagues, okay, because they will have a premature death. So you can tell them and quote some cases also.
There used to be a lot of counseling for my employees, the colleagues, not to smoke, not to drink in my presence. That used to be the first lesson I used to tell them. So,
I will tell you one clue. It will work very well.
yes.
Tell the males. Only males smoke. Okay. So tell
No,
them.
no, here I disagree with you, sir. Uh, yeah, in New Delhi, most of my women reporters used to smoke. And similarly, my students in Northwestern University, the girls get the break, they used to smoke. So here I differ because only men, women also do this. Especially these two observations I have changed. Otherwise, I also used to think that men only do this.
Lakshman sir, excuse me, sir. We have another topic to cover, sir. Migraine.
Yeah, no, don't worry. We'll take it over later also. No problem.
Carry on, please carry on.
Yeah. No, with regard to smoking, by men, they will become impotent. And if women smoke, they will have a deformed child. Childbirth will be, the child will be deformed. Please tell them. Then they will give up. Yes, Rama Devi, you want me to cover the other topic?
Yes, sir. The migraine, because even the small children are facing that when I read or when I go in the sunlight, they are getting migraine or a headache, and sometimes they are feeling nausea as well.
They are hypersensitive to light. Those who are getting headache while going in under the hot sun nowadays, the summer, it's becoming hot and bright and all that. Ask them to wear a cooling glass. Okay. In that way, the light becomes a stimulant for headache. And what is a headache in the first place is there is more rush of blood to the scalp. It is not into the brain, but on the scalp. So when the blood flows to the scalp presses on the skull, and that creates a pain. It is not the brain which will create, because brain is insensitive, but the scalp is sensitive. And the more blood flows there, they are known as scalp reactors. Okay, so this is mentioned in Abnormal Psychology and Modern Life. In the book, it is mentioned there by Coleman. So he says they are known as scalp reactors. Some people are lung reactors, some people are skin reactors, some people are stomach reactors. So here the question is about headache. They are scalp reactors. Okay. If the mother-in-law is there and the girl gets angry, she cannot do anything, or the husband is harassing, she cannot do anything. More blood goes to the scalp and she will have migraine headache. But you cannot remove the husband or the mother-in-law. Okay. Now, what is the solution? If you ask me, one technique is ask them to clench the fist like that tightly. Okay, for a few minutes. They should go on tightening to a level where they have unbearable pain. Then ask them to release the fingers. Then blood flows to the fingers. If you do like this, blood will not flow. Then blood flows. When it flows, not only here, the blood vessels throughout the arms, they become little large. So the blood, instead of going to the skull, will come down to the hands, okay, which is harmless. And the blood vessels here from the skull will shrink. Ask them to do it 6 times in a day. Clench your fist and go on tightening and leave it till you get unbearable pain. Leave it. Okay. Then these blood vessels become larger and the blood vessels to the scalp become smaller. They will not have headache. This can be given to others also. Those who are stomach reactors, they will have peptic ulcer. Okay. And lung reactors, they will have bronchial asthma. For all those people, this is the thing. Okay. The principal is banging. The teachers can clench their fists without showing them. Okay. Then they will not have migraine headache. Or the students can also do it, or the wives can do it, or the husbands can do it. Okay. Sometimes the mother-in-law can also do it if she has a terrible daughter-in-law. It can be done by anybody who experiences stress. So they are the scalp reactors, okay, skin reactors, lung reactors, and stomach reactors. So it is a diversional technique of blood flow to other parts of the body. Otherwise, the body is habituated to push in more blood to a particular part. This can be also used for people with a high blood pressure.
So the people who have high blood pressure also, they can do the clenching exercise 6 times a day so that it will become normal or balanced.
Yes, they will become normal. Yes. Another exercise I would suggest is think of the person who is harassing, as a mother-in-law, or principal, or teacher. Okay, imagine the person and start laughing. Okay, then things will be all right. You can even keep the photograph of the person, look at it, and start laughing. You will not react. You are giving an alternate response. I always suggest laughter is the best medicine when you look at the stimulus, which is a threatening stimulus. It can be mother-in-law, husband, or wife, or father, or mother, or teacher, or a manager. Okay, take their photograph as if you love them, and then put it and start laughing. Okay, and that will also train your brain not to overreact. That will also, the migraine headache will go.
Sir, one more. Will stress also cause migraine, sir?
No, it is not stress because the person has habituated to rush the blood to the scalp. It is not the manager. It is a habit of the person. It is not the mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, or husband or wife. They have developed a habit. You are retraining them. Okay, they have got into a faulty learning. You are asking them to unlearn and relearn. Okay, this is the way. One thing is they can start laughing. Okay, another way is start saying the name of the person. Okay, Mr. X or Miss X, and start running in the same place. More blood goes to the feet.
Okay.
Instead of going to the head or to the heart or to the lung, tell the name which is the stimulus. Okay, or whatever be the relationship, and start running in the place. Okay, the blood goes to the lower limbs, and it will not go to either head or heart or lung or stomach. Okay, in the absence of the threatening stimulus, you can call the name and start running. So you are training the brain and the system to differently respond. Okay.
Okay.
So the whole program is only training both the body and the mind. By that, we can solve many problems.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Welcome.
Sir.
So one question, sir.
Yes.
From the previous example.
What's your name?
Vinusha, sir.
Vinusha. Yes, Vinusha. Tell me.
So usually when it is very threatening to us, so the first question which you have put to that person who have seen all that incident, so is there any recent shocking thing that you have encountered? As it's a shocking one, usually brain doesn't want to pull that into the conscious level. So it would always try to put it inside so that it would help the person to not go into that danger situation. It will always try to protect. It will not try to bring it up. But at the conscious level, it would be very difficult to again tell him to recollect the things. So how you have really got to that level to explore him about the shocking event to elaborate by himself?
Can you give one shocking instance? Please tell me. Traumatic. What we call as traumatic. A teacher beats a child, for example. A teacher beats a child, which is traumatic. Okay. Like that, so many things which are hurting, painful, shocking, these are traumatic. Okay. Suppose the name of the teacher is Sujata. Ask the child to say Sujata and start laughing aloud. Okay. And ask the child to say Sujata and start running in the same place. Or ask the child to say Sujata and start punching in the air, not on Sujata. Okay, Sujata, then start punching in the air. Because it gives a diversion, a different response to the threatening stimulus. So those who are afraid of darkness can also do it. They can say darkness and then start kicking. What they are kicking darkness. Okay, which is abstract. Okay, they can kick with their feet also, with the hands also. Okay, they can shout, darkness, I hate you. Okay, I'm not afraid of you. Shout. These are new recordings in the brain. Then the fear of darkness will go away. Other teacher or mother-in-law or husband or wife, anything. I'm not telling specifically. Anything that is disturbing will go away. Okay. Venisha, you want to ask anything further?
No, sir. So that one, it's a very shocking event, right, for him. So how did you brought into his conscious awareness? Like, so
Yeah.
that is the part, like how you have really made him to.
With the due regard to pride, there is no conscious or unconscious mind. Everything is recorded in the brain. Okay? You can always recall. There is nothing which is hiding in the unconscious. So that's why I say I am sorry to pride. Okay? He has done wonderful contributions, but now we have to solve the problem. So don't go with unconscious, conscious, subconscious, and all that. Leave it. The problem has to be solved. Okay. I do not know what you are trying to figure out. Please come out and be frank. If you have any case.
So maybe something, otherwise I would give this, so suppose if there is a rape victim, they would not really like, they might have forgotten the things or something, but they would not really try to elaborate sequence by sequence. They will not elaborate. They feel very uncomfortable, or they might forget to. Like, they don't even remember what has actually happened. So these kind of threatening things, have to make them remember again, to bring it to make them talk about that.
Okay. Now, what I would say, there are many ways of developing different reactions. One reaction is anxiety. Another reaction can be laughter. Another reaction can be aggression. Okay, scolding, shouting, kicking with hands and legs. So we are re-educating the brain to react in a different way than to be afraid of or to be worried. Okay. So what we do, we give self-defense technique. Even a girl was sexually harassed. Now she thinks anybody may harass me at any time. Instead, you equip them with the competency to protect themselves. Instead of telling, don't worry, okay, that is not going to help. They should be equipped by techniques of self-defense. How to hurt the offender. If at all somebody offends, then they should know where to hit. The most sensitive points on the face, on the chest, okay, and that itself is a package. Okay, you are developing competency to face, okay, and confront, and then solve the problem. Instead of defending, attack. You can have some of the judo masters there to help in teaching self-defense. Otherwise, you can send somebody to Coimbatore, I will train in self-defense. Okay. Okay, Vinisha.
So, Ganesha sir, shall we?
Yeah.
Because already 1 hour crossed.
Yes, yes.
Shall we?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Please do.
Right. Ramadevi, just before summarizing, I thought of just announcing to our participants. So we are planning, the WCOP is planning to have one physical program at Tirupati during first week of June. So I requested Ganesha sir also, probably in a week, alternative days may be planned. And already with the approval of our Ganesha sir, today happened to be 26th, then 28th, then 30th, 3 programs I have chalked out. So kindly bear this just dates, because you know, we plan to just try to complete it, though it is a 3-month certificate course, but 3-month certificate course means 24 programs we have just evaluated for any of the programs. So that itself is called as 3-month certificate course, but we can dodge, we can speed it up. So no problem, we will call it as a 3-month certificate course. We will try to complete it in the almost May 15th, before May 15th, we are completing the request. I proposed a request to our Professor Ganesh sir. So the problem is we would like to have a physical meet, international level meet at Tirupati. So kindly cooperate these alternative dates, probably like this, right? So this is the my just I would like to pass on the information to the participants. And regarding record rating, already we have just requested our repertoire. She's daily she is preparing and keeping the notes, running notes. So kindly copy it down and keep one copy with you and send one copy to Professor Ashok so that it becomes a running notes and it becomes an epic just for you. That running notes itself is rather a Bible or whatever it might be. It becomes a very book in this guide, manual, whatnot, a book thing. So it will be quite helpful for in dealing any of these psychosomatic disorders in the coming soon after completion of this 3-month certificate course. And please send it to one copy to us so that you have undergone the course, right? So with this, I request Ramadevi to just summarize it very briefly.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Ganeshan sir, for your solutions you have given it. So you have said that nausea is the cause unknown, idiopathic. So the allergens or the threat is in the mind and which is hypervigilant. So that causes brain and the nervous system to react to that allergen or the stimulant. So you have suggested the systematic hierarchical desensitization method, which is the gradual introduction of the stimulant to the client so that the brain gets educated and relearns it. So if some person is allergic to payasam, a sweet dish, so we have to ask him to write the word in the mother tongue or the language which he is comfortable with. So we have to look at the word. So and then again read out the word and then look at the allergen at a distance. So after looking at the allergen, a real allergen at the distance, like here in a case it is a payasam. So after looking at the allergen, so we have to make him touch with the finger to the allergen so that the brain accepts the touch of that allergen. And after that, smelling the allergen so that the payasam or applying the allergen on the palm. So we have to make him taste the allergen just with the tip of the pin. It's very minute though. So then we have to ask him to spit it out so that the brain learns to accept the taste and the smell of the taste. And here in case it is all the 5 senses we are using it so that the brain gets educated and relearns to taste the food. So in the case too, in the person who eats in the mess or food, particularly in the mess and the hostel, he gets allergic and he gets vomited. Even if he eats in the water, in his room, he becomes allergic to it and he vomits. So first we have to find out the stimulant it could be any trauma or it could be any incident or any person. We have to find it out so that if he is overgeneralizing that incident to the real life. So we have to, for him, let us, and the case you have said, take a halwa in a small amount, feed him with a small amount of halwa for certain amount of food so that he can have it. So without giving the water in between. So he eats it and he doesn't vomit, and he realizes that he doesn't vomit with the food. So in the hostel also we have to ask him to eat rice grain by grain. One grain, 2 grains, 3 grains, not just having the gulp of it. So, and he has to avoid the water till he finishes the food. Even if he has to take the water, he has to take after half an hour, and that too by spoon, so that he gets the brain gets learning to the educated to the reaction. So the brain gets educated and does not overreact if it is introduced slowly. So if it is like Devi Lakshman Rao case, it is sneezing. So he can also follow the same way, like looking at the allergen words and systematically desensitizing by using the 5 senses, and also by the method of gelanate, which is available even in Amazon, I guess. So that with that, like pouring the water from this and coming out of with the mouth open, the water should be mixed with a little of salt. And Kapalabhati, it is 4 into 10 times a day, so that all the breathing, everything, the oxygen level will be balanced to the brain. So Vastrika, is that the word, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. So we have to sit in a Padmasana in an open place, and we have to slowly breathe in and breathe out. And there is also one method, start running in the same place, so that the oxygen supply to the brain will be equal. So in case of my...
Sorry to interrupt, that is not Vastrika. That is Anulom Vilom.
It is also known as a bellow technique.
Yeah, it's bellow technique, and you have to take in and something like,
breathing out
type of thing. You have to sneeze it out through the nose.
Yeah, Kapalabhati.
No, the Kapalabhati is just you are blowing it out.
Exhalation.
Take
exhalation.
Blowing it out.
Bellow technique or Vastrika is sucking in air through nostrils.
Through nostrils, that is correct.
Okay.
Okay. So in case of migraine, who is hypersensitive to light or sound, so the more blood will be sent to the scalp. So there are scalp reactors, there can be lung, skin, and stomach reactors. So we have to ask the client to clench his fist to the maximum level of unbearable pain, and then release the hand, so that the blood vessels near the hands, they get elaborated or larger, and the blood vessels near the head, they become shrink, so that the blood won't go to the head and the pain gets reduced. Even this can be done by the students, teachers, or any person who feels this, who feels headache at that, by looking at the person or the stimulant. And laughing is also one such reaction to the stimulus. If you look at the person or which is a harassing thing, so look at that person or the image, visualize the person and image, or you can start laughing at them, or tell the name and start running at the place, same place. Or we have, if we talk about the rape victims who are feeling down, we have to ask them to shout, yell, or anything. I mean, there is laughing is one reaction to stimulus, and there are other reactions like shouting, yelling, and kicking, so that all the emotions they can vent out, and we have to make them learn the self-defense. This is all what you have given us, sir. This is what I have noticed. If anything I missed it, participants, please correlate with your notes and make the copies.
Yeah, they can add.
Yeah. Okay. So on behalf of WCOP and the participants, I would like to thank you Ganeshan sir, from the bottom of my heart for giving you the value, for taking out the valuable time, and in spite of your busy schedule and being a holiday, especially, I thank you so much, sir. And your techniques are really, really helpful, sir, because I have been applying them, and the technique which you are given for homosexuals is really working out well, sir. So I'm really indebted to you for all the things you have been teaching me every time, because even if I call you at any time, you are ready to respond. That is I feel very fortunate for that, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And I request all the participants to learn these techniques and practices. These are really, really helpful in it. Thank you, B.J. Reddy, sir, especially for creating such a platform throughout the India, so that all the people who are theory, we can get anywhere in this. Anywhere we can get the theory part, we get anywhere. But the applying and making it to the practical solution is the difficult part. So that we are getting at a very easily, I can say, with the help of our renowned person, Ganeshan sir. So I request participants to take this take this course and improve yourself in your profession and skills. Thank you, B.J. Reddy sir, for giving us this platform. Thank you so much, all the participants, and Ganeshan sir and B.J. Reddy sir. Thank you, one and all. Have a good evening and good night.
Yeah. One more point I would like to add here. I request all the participants to just inform your own friends who are abroad. So generally, your dates are not yet fixed, finalized, and soon after just convening a meeting with our 4 company members and the leadership of our Ganeshan sir, we are going to decide the dates also. Probably June 10th and 11th, second Saturday and Sunday, we are planning, and request the participants to inform your own friends or colleagues or gurus who are at abroad. They can also join through online also. Those who are interested on their own way. Right. Good night, sir. Good night.
Good night, sir. Thank you.
Good night.